My sister called me and told me that I needed to immediately fly home as Dad was extremely ill and in hospital. My name's Ian Took. I'm the Vice President of Strategic Business Development for Grantek. I've been in the manufacturing industry for over 25 years and had a number of experience in many different industries and verticals. I got into manufacturing in North America by relocating with Rockwell Automation to the USA in 1999, and then on to Canada in 2001. Unfortunately, I had to leave my parents, siblings, and extended family in the UK behind. It was always a struggle making sure that there was a balance between work and my young growing family, and also being a good son to my aging parents. After joining Grantek in 2009, my work-life balance moved into a positive direction, and I was able to invest much more time and more hours into my expanding family with my wife, Carrie. However, during a large customer project while I was working in the USA, my father fell ill. This immediately caused concern for me as he was recovering from open heart surgery. My sister called me and told me that I needed to immediately fly home as Dad was extremely ill and in hospital. I called our senior management team. My manager told me not to worry about work and to focus on my dad. I was on a plane that afternoon to London Heathrow. I landed in London and the airport was bustling as usual. I picked up a rental car and started the journey back to my hometown in the UK. It was great to see all my family, but I immediately went to see my dad, who was in the hospital. I collected my mum and headed over. My dad is one of the most influential people in my life. I was lucky enough to have my dad with me through the whole of my life. He was engaged in every stage, from getting down on the floor, building sandcastles, playing with dinky toys, drawing, and teaching me my love of the outdoors and gardening, to helping me out with academics and instilling work ethic as I grew into a man. Most importantly, he showed me how to be a great dad. He was always there for me. When I entered the hospital room, my dad greeted me with his usual greeting. "Nice to see you, boy," and he gave me a big hug. He was on IV and had bad bruising where he had fallen in his face. We spoke at length, and as always, my dad moved the subject from him to me and my family. It was nice just to visit, but I could tell my dad's energy level was diminished. After spending a week in the UK helping out my mum and going to see my dad, we finally received the news that my father had a rare form of leukemia, and unfortunately the prognosis was not good. After my dad had stabilized and we had established what the plans and outcomes were, my dad convinced me to go home and look after my family and get back to work. I left the UK reluctantly, as you can imagine, knowing that my dad had only maybe 6 months left of life, and I wanted to spend as much time with him as possible. However, I knew that wasn't possible, and so did he. On my return to work, I spoke to my manager, Dave, and explained the situation. I will always remember the response he gave me. "Ian, this is your dad. I want you to be with Grantek for the next 25 years. Take care of your family. Don't worry. Grantek has your back. Do what you need to do to support your family." It was that simple. Transition plans were made. The Grantek family provided support, and boy did I need it at that time. I made a total of 7 trips back to the UK over the next 6 months. While working remotely, I was able to spend quality time with my dad and help my mother and sisters plan for my dad's care and eventual passing. I will be forever thankful for the time with my father, and to Grantek for providing support and worry-free stability to myself and my family. I know Grantek always has my back.